Hey everyone, surprise! Happy holidays. Man, this thing is hideous, isn't it? We got Peyton Langford along with myself, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff, and I haven't done a little Facebook Live with Peyton in a while.
Yeah.
Peyton, you've been on vacation.
Yeah, it was a nice vacation.
Yeah.
Although not long enough when you're with family,
When you have to come back to us. I know. I hear you.
Just enjoy family.
Yeah. Vacation comes back pretty quick, that's for
Mhm.
sure. I mean, vacation ends and work comes back pretty quick. So what'd you do on your vacation?
I just hung out with family for the most part.
Yeah.
I see my family, with my girlfriend's family. So it was a lot of fun. It was kind of my early Christmas.
Yeah.
I just did Christmas earlier.
Nice.
Yeah.
Real
I'll be here
cool.
working.
Yes, he will, and I want to let you know about that. So tomorrow will be my last day for the year. Family is going to get some time off, and we're taking off for a little while. So still got the beard, but my wife said got to shave it pretty soon. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's a little prickly, I think, in the mustache. So it's like whenever you kiss me,
It had a good
kinda
run.
goes had a good run. Good run. Neve, I appreciate you liking the beard, and it went almost all the way through December. Josh says nice suit. Here's the deal. I saw some people wearing this in my church, and I was like, he had a red
Really?
one. Yeah, he had a red one. And it was like, because he's a greeter, he's a door
Oh,
greeter. And so that would be a perfect time. And anyways, I was like, Terry, I like that suit. Where did you get that? He's like, oh, you can get that at Sam's. And so I went there yesterday. They had a bunch of them, and I bought one of every color because, how many times do you need an ugly suit?
Right.
A lot. But the deal is at Sam's Club, they're sold out today. My son went and got some. He said there was only one left in his size. That was this one. So I'll wear the red one. He's going to wear the green one. We're going to walk around on our vacation one day where we wear these
There you
suits.
go.
So, yeah, appreciate it. And it didn't key out too bad on the wall. These green lights right here, just a little bit. That's the same color
Yeah.
as the green
Thanks for
screen.
production for helping.
Yeah,
helping you
it
out
worked
there.
out on that. Blaze says hello. And Blaze, we got some new cameras in the mix that we're trying to work on. So glitter in the beard before we shave it. What do you think? Glitter.
Whoa, I don't know about that. A little flashy.
That might be a little too much, honestly. But that's not a bad idea. Let's get to the forecast, shall we? Take a look at what's going on. You might be looking at this Facebook Live for the forecast. So, Peyton, you made a lot of this forecast. Take us through what we're talking about. Because I was live in Poto at the Smith family, and we were lighting up the neighborhood, which was really cool.
Yeah, well, you're seeing the energy just south of Albuquerque. It's actually coming in pretty fast compared to what models think. So that's going to shake up some things in terms of timing when we're expecting rain. But of course, the big weather maker still off to the west.
Yeah, we'll show you that. When we went to, we were doing the preview screen. That was that big system for the Christmas Eve storm. We'll talk more about that. We'll take a look at that. But you mentioned the timing. This might go a little faster, and that's why we kept rain in there. We already moved it in by late morning.
Yeah.
Just, some isolated showers and stuff like
drizzle
that.
Here and there. But
Dylan has words for all of us.
Go be great.
Go be great. Thanks for tuning in here, Dylan. Appreciate it. Hey, you know what? You can't rap me either because I'm doing a Facebook Live. I could talk forever.
I'm just going to type rap.
And keep time. Yeah, he's going to type rap. Producers, when we're going over, which is like every day in every newscast, because everything else is scripted. We're not scripted. We'll talk about the weather and continue to talk about it. And anyways, basically they say rap to let us know that we're out of time.
Yeah.
And rap, and then it's hard rap, and then it's get off the screen, stop talking, and get out of there, or I'm going to cut your mic. So it's that's the sequence of events. Now, we don't have any moisture. It's not very high. Dew points are in the mid-30s, but you were actually looking at this, comparing it with the models. What were you saying about that?
Yeah, so the model that this shows, the dew points, forget what model this is.
This is the graph.
Yeah, so the graph is showing dew points about the middle to lower 50s, especially middle 50s by the time we get to Saturday ahead of that next Christmas Eve into Christmas Day weather system. And you compare that with the instability and the dew points in the GFS because, the instability is based on those dew points. But there's not a whole lot of instability with the GFS model, and the dew points are the same. So it seems like the instability is going to be on the low, and it does seem
on the low side.
Yeah, on the lower side. The models do seem to be agreeing at least on the dew points, so maybe they can at least agree on the thunderstorm fuel.
Now, sometimes, as you know, models can be underdone in the amount of instability, and that can happen over time. But we're still so far out that we can't say that. So, all right. So we have here. It says, "I wish it wasn't not going to rain on Christmas Eve. That's going to suck." I know there's going to be some Christmas Eve rain. So, any severe weather with this? Jacob's asking. I wouldn't say the chance is zero, but I wouldn't say it's very high at this point either.
Yeah,
So
definitely not very high, especially. But with the timing, things can change. And if we have more storms like the afternoon, late afternoon, early evening with the peak heating, we could get a couple vertically developed thunderstorms. I don't think they're going to be too crazy.
yeah,
But definitely some strong rain, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder.
the only thing I'm cautious about that is there's a lot of energy off the coast.
There
The
is.
models are not really showing. We'll get to that. But here's the rainfall that's coming in. This is for Thursday evening. It really starts to pick up. But notice it starts as early as Thursday morning. So tomorrow not going to be the best day for the outdoors. You can see those rain chances cranking back up about 10 o'clock and then continuing. And then they really ramp up during the evening hours and then continue into the morning hours on Friday. And I don't think we can be completely done with the rain on Friday. You kept it in there. The River Valley, this is looks like it's computer model-ish right here because you can see how it's 2020 and then 2020 is a little higher. So this is actually probably like 23%, and then it just rounds to 20. Did you know that we adjust this forecast 48 hours? It's on our weather app. It's adjusted by us.
Yeah, we adjust it whenever we come in.
Every day
for the newscast. We adjust it. We don't let the computers do it because oftentimes they're pretty wrong.
Hey, AI is good at a lot of things. It stinks at forecasting the weather.
Trash.
It's the computer models can't forecast the weather great. I mean, they do an okay job, but you can't rely on them. That's for sure. All right, so there's that precipitation that moves in. Now, here's what happens with the future track. There's the rain popping up, a few showers, and then watch what happens when it really starts to pick up. This is Thursday night into Friday morning. And so, just be ready for rain. Going to Silver Dollar City tomorrow. Bring the rain gear, umbrella. You'll need it. That continues into Friday. Notice how a lot of the rain is gone by Friday afternoon, evening. But you'll see here on the future track that rain totals could amount to possibly as much as 3/4 of an inch in spots. I think that might be on the high side, but it gives you an idea that there could be a little bit of rain, more than what's expected. Poto, maybe not as much. Maybe this is focused in Northwest Arkansas. Then again, it can shift though. But what I was thinking, and I think you agree, is that maybe is more rain for tomorrow into Friday for Northwest Arkansas, but Christmas Eve, that's probably going to be focused. The heavier stuff will be in the River Valley.
Yeah,
I believe.
So
here's what we've got with the Christmas Eve storm, and we'll talk about that. And so let's see here. We got a couple of comments. David, we'll get to that here in a little bit about the collapse in the polar vortex in early January. So we'll mention that here. Any recent thoughts on El Nino? El Nino is just still behaving exactly as expected, honestly. With the strong subtropical jet, keeping a lot of the colder weather north. But as you'll see here in just a little bit, we'll see a difference. Would a marginal risk be needed to cover this small chance? I do think there will be a marginal risk. I don't think they have it on the day 4 through 8 yet, but
I think they're worried to pull the trigger just because that affects so many different industries, a lot of moving pieces and parts. So I think they're kind of scared to pull the trigger.
Yeah,
on marginal.
No doubt about that. Jimmy says hello from Chateau. You were in that is. Have you ever been there? Man, that is a nice place. The Chateau has a beautiful look at Table Rock Lake in Branson.
I've been to Table Rock Lake.
Maybe you're on your little date, or maybe you're on business. I don't know, but if you're watching us, thank you so much for doing that. If you are on a date, get back to that date. But unless they like weather too, it's who knows. But I know that that's an amazing view, very awesome place. And my wife and I have actually never stayed there. We thought about it every time we drive by on the way to Silver Dollar City. So that's pretty cool. All right, here's a question. Is the rain going to be heavy? Yes, I do believe on Christmas Eve that's going to be coming down pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you'll see why. The overall pattern gets a little bit interesting just a little bit after New Year. I would agree with that, and we'll show you that. How much rain will we get on Christmas Eve? So these are all questions we're about to answer. So let's just go ahead and go through that. I will say the Beaver Lake levels are really down, way, way down. And I'll also say this, Alex, that we are behind in rainfall.
Yeah, we're behind.
2.25 inches. I can actually show you that. Let's do this. We'll show you the almanac real quick because I brought it up on the air today.
1.5 inches for the month.
Yeah.
2 2/3 for the year.
So here's your answer. We have to take the camera off the screen so you can see the full almanac. So there you go on the right side. 1.5 inches, as Peyton just mentioned, and almost 2 3/4 inches for the year. We've really been dry the last several weeks, and the drought monitor actually does have abnormally dry conditions last time I looked. So there's the Northwest Arkansas forecast, or the Northwest Arkansas almanac, and the River Valley has a little bit less of a deficit, 2.33, but still pretty impressive deficit for the month. So it is down. We need some rain. There's no doubt about that. And we've got some rain coming, so that'll be nice. But how much rain are we expecting for Christmas Eve? Well, let's get to that. I think around 1 to 2 inches is not out of the question. So let's look at the long range here. A few things to look at. There's the big system, and you'll see it moving eastward. And I'm telling you right now, Peyton, and I'm telling not really Peyton because he knows, but a lot of the other people watching this Facebook Live, there are a lot of disturbances within this big low. I mean, there's all sorts of energy that's happening. You got a system down here, got another system down here. Here comes the kicker system from the west that's finally going to give this a shove to the southeast. Look at all this jet stream energy.
That is so fast.
Yeah, it sure is. So maybe it's going to speed up a little bit too. That's not out of the question. You can see that kicker system moving in and finally starting to give that low a giant push. But boy, that thing has been parked out there. Let's do this. Let's go the last 48 hours. Let's go the last 2 days. And you're going to see that thing just diving in and then watch it just kind of sit there. And the reason for that is there's a ridge to the east of it. So it's just not going to allow it to move eastward until it gets a kicker system. Now, there's all sorts of little disturbances, and the spin of a fluid is just basically not very structured. It's random and chaotic. There's energy to the west of that low that swings in. And so let me get back to that view. And then we're going to look at what the model shows. So the model is trying to detect all those little pieces of energy. And what that is all those bright spots, the whites, the blues, those are the stronger spins in the atmosphere. And this, Peyton, you can tell them, what does this exactly mean? What is this called?
This is vorticity. So this is a vorticity map. Vorticity, just a fancy word for spins in the atmosphere. And the stronger the spin, the brighter the color, the stronger the spin, the more lift you're going to have. So the stronger chance for thunderstorms.
So there's a lot of lift. So let's see what this does over time. So that spins east. Let me take the camera off the screen so you can see the energy that moves in here. This is what we're seeing tomorrow. It's not as strong. So clearly we got rain, but boy, you look off to the west and there's this massive system. Now that thing starts kicking east. Now here's where things get interesting. There are all sorts of little disturbances here that I can tell you firsthand. The model is not going to depict exactly where precipitation is going to be looking at all these little pieces of energy. As I like to say, sometimes the dynamics can't catch up on what the model is actually showing. So it's stronger, not always, but it's stronger. It's a little more intense. Now see this energy to the west that's lagging back. This is what brings our heavy rain and thunderstorm potential. And guess when?
When?
Right about the time we fly. Oh my goodness. So we're getting out of the country, and you can see this system moving east, and oh my goodness, look at all that energy that's swinging in. So that right there, I think, brings some potential strong storms.
Yeah.
And then after that moves through, you got more energy that swings in from the west. Now, here's where we get an additional amount of rain. This is where things can start piling up and bringing more and more rainfall. And then you'll see that system moving east. And then, let's do this. I'm going to zip through real quick. We're going to step through this and watch all this. And we were talking about this earlier, almost like a Fujiwara effect.
Yeah.
Let's get into that.
Backwards a little bit. You can really see it.
Let's do that. So first of all, explain what the Fujiwara effect is.
Yeah. So it's when you have two lows, typically one that's off in the southern part of California, another one coming from the Pacific. And by the time that they come together and meet, they kind of merge together around a central point, start rotating around one another until they eventually meet, and it creates one strong system that then persists off to the northeast.
So you're telling me that the day after tomorrow is scientifically accurate?
Yeah, might be.
No, it's not. But no, that is something that they show, two systems merging, coming together, making a big one. That happened in the Pilger tornado. You know, the two supercells that came around, and they it was definitely a Fujiwara effect. We've seen it with the water vapor in some lows. Now that you know what we're talking about, almost like that's riding around a carousel or merry-go-round, here's a look at that Fujiwara. So you got a low that is happening to the east of Denver. You got a low that's happening to the west of Denver. Let me point that out here. So
start back a little further.
Yeah, I got to go back a little farther, don't we? So there's the two lows.
You can see the other one above, like Nevada.
Yeah, so there's the two lows. You can see them coming in. Now watch, they're going to start rotating around each other. Oh, man, you can see that really well. And then look what happens. Just chaos, where you got that energy that swings in. Now, it's not going to kick out. I don't think it's going to be as progressive because, look, there's a big ridge on the eastern seaboard. And then watch what happens. This is where I think it gets a lot colder than what you possibly think. And winter weather not out of the question either. Because look at this energy. See that Fujiwara effect? Now watch what happens here. We got another low that swings around. Look at all that garbage.
Looks like that's coming straight from Canada.
That's coming straight from Canada.
Might be some Arctic air. Which
is
really, really cool.
And then look at that. This is called cross-polar flow, where you have air coming from Canada and the Arctic that drops south. Now, that is a lot of stuff happening. So let's go back and let's just put that all into motion. I'm going to delete all the pauses, and we're just going to play that so you can see how crazy this is. And I'm actually going to do one more thing because we're not in the shows anymore. I'm going to delete this view. We're just going to go to the wide view, and then you'll be able to see everything happen. And then we'll get into what this means for the forecast. So I see some questions about winter weather. So there's a look at the spin in the atmosphere. Look at how that plays out. Now, as you get farther in time, it doesn't look as smooth, and that's because it's updating every 12 hours instead of every 6 hours.
Yes.
So the model's not going to show that. Or every 6 hours instead of every 3 hours. Yeah, my bad. That's why it's really smooth at first. So watch, smooth. You can see the motions, but then after it gets past, how many days is it again? 7? Is it 7 days that it goes to 6 hours? Yeah, I think so. Ooh, how about this? Shawnee, Oklahoma tornado earlier this year was a Fujiwara effect. I'm not going to deny Josh. He knows the stuff. Josh is our weather intern. He comes in and just fills us with all sorts of weather knowledge. Really, really good guy. All right, so what does that mean for the forecast? Well, let's get to that. So we know about the rain Thursday. And remember, the long-range models are the only ones that can see this time frame because the HRRR, the NAM 3-kilometer, NAM 12-kilometer, none of them go out far enough to get to Christmas Eve, which is 4 days. Because the most you have is, 84. It's still not going to get there. But there's a look at Sunday. You've got Sunday morning, and then watch what happens when that system swings in. You can just see that energy. And again, it doesn't have all the details. By Christmas Eve morning, the system moves out. Then, as we move into later on in the week, this is when the cold air starts plowing south. Oh, look at that. So remember that low that you were seeing, that strong vorticity low that was dropping south. That could be bringing some winter weather potential. It's still very much uncertain, but that's not out of the question. And then the cold air is really plowing in. And honestly, I don't think the European is cold enough. I think it will continue to get colder. And if we look at this is the jet stream. Watch what happens with this cross-polar flow right here. That is some cold air.
Whoa.
Yeah. You can almost see, what is that called where it makes an S shape in the jet stream? I forgot what it is. What is it called? There's a name.
Rex.
You can see it right here. See that S? and it goes all the way up into
Rex Ridge or
northern
something?
Canada. Yeah, I can't remember. We'll have to look, but I know it's called. You have cross polar flow. What I mean by that is you're going across the poles. You're dropping straight down in latitudes, which means colder weather is coming. So then there's that system. Then it kind of modifies, and I think it modifies a little bit too quick. So we can look at the 850 temperatures, and here's a look at the big temperature drop. So remember, very mild through Christmas Day. There's the cold air that starts wrapping around that low. And doesn't look like it was as cold as yesterday. Like I said, I think it's a little milder, but still, it shows that cold air plowing south. And honestly, a little beyond that, that looks pretty darn cold to me, man. And I think some cold air will start building up. I think we've got a little bit more of what we call snowpack that develops to the north, which is right now pretty minimal. Once that happens, you start getting a chain reaction with colder weather. So cold low moving through the state, cold air in place, any moisture could make things pretty interesting, 27th, 28th time frame. Exactly. That's what we just looked at. Now we can look at the GFS, and the 18Z GFS has a little piece of energy moving in. So there's the storms that fire up. It actually has it Sunday morning off to the west. In Oklahoma, the instability is a little greater.
Is this the 18Z GFS?
This is the 18Z GFS.
Oh,
so you're
so the
about
one
to see
that's,
something interesting here. Yep. There's that cold air wrapping around. See the low dropping south. And then you're going to see that, I think December 27th, it's cold enough where there could be a little bit of winter weather. Now, at the moment, it doesn't show a lot, but we'll see if that changes. Now, this only goes out 10 days or 7 days for that. 18Z lost its mind.
Yeah,
with winter
that's what I was going to
preset.
say.
Yeah.
It's simply built different.
Yeah.
But, and what I mean by that is it's probably pretty wrong.
So Paul says long-term forecast showed snow January 2nd, showing ice now on January 3rd. What's my thoughts? I think that's way too far out
Yeah.
to be calling for exact things. That just doesn't. Nah. I do believe it's colder. I do believe there will be at least some winter weather potential. Not sure on the severity of it.
It's quite literally worse than 50. It's completely random beyond 10 days.
Yeah, totally random. I mean, if you can call it, great, but it's not very likely. Here's the cold air that's pouring in, though. I mean, look at these highs, upper 30s for next week. So that's some chilly weather.
Mhm.
And then you can see Friday, highs in the low 40s. I still think that's too warm, but you can see that colder air trend coming. So have fun with that, Peyton.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll send you a picture on the beach. GFS from okay, interesting to Matt to whoa, hold up, that ain't right. That's hot.
Yeah. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Oh, whoa, hold up. What is that from?
I don't remember.
From one of them memes.
Yeah, one of the memes.
One of them memes. That's right. So I think this suit can be a meme. Look at this thing. It's got lights on it, flashes. Doesn't key out too bad on the wall. So let's show you the 7-day forecast. We'll wrap up this live update. We'll do another one tomorrow night, and then it's hasta la vista, baby, as Peyton and Josh Rugger are holding down the fort because Zach is also on a little vacay, spending time with the family. So hopefully he's hitting the gym.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah. All right. So there's a look at the forecast. 60 on Thursday, Friday in the mid-50s. There's the drizzle potential Saturday. I don't think we can completely remove the rain just because there's enough pieces of energy, enough of that disturbance, which apparently pieces of energy makes people cringe. But what would you say? There was Oklahoma.
There's a meteorologist in Oklahoma who's medical science.
Medical science.
About to go into his doctorate.
So he is in meteorology?
He was talking about people graduating from postdoc at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Hearing the word pieces of energy and cringing.
Yeah. Well, disturbances.
That's what it is.
I know,
that's
exactly.
What it is. It's a piece of energy.
That's what it is.
What do you want me to call it?
It's pure energy.
Vorticity, and then just get kicked off here.
Yeah. There's the forecast for Northwest Arkansas. So you put not the best sleigh ride weather, and I would have to agree.
Yeah.
Not going to be the best to enjoy those lights on the squares, Bentonville and Fayetteville Square. But there's the stormy potential, mainly Sunday, probably maybe late mornings, a few thunderstorms as we're bouncing around in them. And then by Sunday night and Monday morning, that's when, that other piece of energy moves in. Are we going to see the instability at that time? There's a lot of uncertainty. So we'll see. We still have 4 or 5 days to iron this out before that severe weather potential, or really 4 days. But I wouldn't be surprised for a marginal risk on like day 2 or something like that. Maybe even day 3. They might go marginal.
Maybe. For Saturday night to Sunday. I don't think they're going to have anything for Thursday and Friday, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, any questions? I saw we had a question about travel.
Yes, I was going to bring that up
Okay,
too.
yes, let's do that.
I-49 or 40, can't remember. Christmas Eve?
If you're still on here, you're probably like, I'm already gone, Brian. But there's
Sorry,
a look.
Brian.
Yeah, sorry about that. How's the travel outlook for I-40 Sunday night? So I don't know if you're going west or east, but what we'll do is I kind of want to show a wide view. Now, remember, all we can do at this point to illustrate what's going to happen is to look at the wide views. So we're going to look at basically the national map. It will give you an idea on what to expect. So I'm going to load this up here in just a second. National view. We'll save it. You'll have to change this, Peyton, or I'll have to change it too.
Yeah.
But someone's asking about the national view. We'll do the forecast. We'll step through it. We'll show you what you can expect. So here's what we've got. So I-40 is going to be a little wet, I think, all along Oklahoma and all along Arkansas for Christmas Eve. So no winter weather, though. You don't have to worry about that. Too warm for winter weather. Well, all the winter weather will be north. We're talking I-80 in Nebraska, I-70 in northern Kansas. Not here, though. But there's a look at the system that moves in. Now, Colorado, Chelsea, who's headed to Colorado, she's going to be encountering a white Christmas, I do believe. That looks like a pretty good little snowstorm that happens for Christmas Eve and a Christmas Day. But notice how it's just too far north for us. I just don't see it. After Christmas, maybe a little disturbance drops south and we can get a little wave. But there you got the rain. And so there's a look at Christmas Eve. I mean, it really is rainy. If you leave early, you'll encounter that rain in eastern Oklahoma, and then it'll start moving out. And then you can see it lifting northward, and you can see that cold air wrapping around. And so there's a little disturbance that you can clearly see right there that's dropping south. Now, the model dries that up pretty quick. I'm not so sure that dries out.
Yeah.
So there's going to be
heading west
some things.
on 40 after 10 o'clock at night on Sunday, you might be good.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's going to be a pretty wet interstate for most of the weekend. Thankfully, though, no winter snow. I mean, winter precipitation.
Yeah, no winter precipitation here. Now, going up to Minnesota, you're going to encounter that. That's a big system there. Let's look at let's show the GFS some love, right?
Yeah.
Can't just look at the European. We can look at the GFS too. So let's zoom out. And really, honestly, there's a Canadian, there's a Spire, there's all sorts of models, and we can't.
All trash.
Yeah, exactly. Garbage. Get rid of them. How about the Texas Tech WRF, Josh, if you're still on here? Our favorite model. Well, it used to be, and then it just fell apart.
It's probably going to do great in Lubbock this weekend.
Yeah.
That's about it.
All right, so here's what we've got West Coast. There's the storm system. Well, you can really see that spin. There's the rain that comes in tomorrow into Friday morning. So all of them agree on that. Now, there's that winter storm in Colorado. I think that's going to be a big one, man.
Yeah.
Over the Rockies.
I don't envy them, not going to lie. I drove through some, blown snow in April, and you couldn't even see, the road in front, right in front of you. It was terrible. So
there's Christmas Eve in the morning, late morning. Right as we're about to take off, there's the storms rolling in. I really don't think that timing is going to change. That doesn't show as much of the winter weather. It also doesn't bring that other vorticity lobe dropping south. It does show some snow right there on the 27th. So 27th was just out of our forecast range, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we went to the 26th, right? No, wait, maybe we did go to the 27th.
No, we did go to the 27th.
Yeah, as of now, we just kind of dry just because there's so much
Yeah.
uncertainty. But we might need to look at putting maybe a 20% in there.
I'm
but-
willing to bet when Josh comes in tomorrow, he'll put it 20%.
So here's a look at this. There's the locally up to 3 inches. That's definitely some rain coming our way. Now that's over the next 7 days.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the pattern. We got a couple other questions here.
Whoa.
Whoa. Yeah. Just makes me want to use pieces of energy more in the forecast.
Yeah.
Sarah, Merry Christmas to you as well.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Did you say most of Northwest Arkansas rain morning, less that night? No, Brooke, we're going to have rain more tomorrow evening, less in the morning, but still possible. Let's see. The best destination is one where Google Maps tells you that it requires a ferry while driving directions are toggled on. That's good. Yeah. Where is the snow in Maryland? We need a snowstorm. Montgomery County. So yeah, it's a good question.
I heard Maryland and like the DC area
Nothing so
to
far.
get like a lot of snow.
They have that system lifting north,
Yeah.
but
There's like some picture I saw somewhere, weather Twitter. Josh Weisel knows how it is, but just completely dumped feet of snow on top of the DC area.
oh man, they can get those nor'easters that are just massive.
It's almost that time of year.
Is there anything that comes through Maryland? Not really. Yeah. Maybe at the end of Christmas, that same system will march eastward, but yeah, it really doesn't look like much right now. Not going to be a white Christmas for the East Coast.
No.
Way too warm. You know, our statistical chance is around 5 to 10%. There's a couple places it's a little higher, but no white Christmas here. So got to bring the colors. The amount of cloud coverage. Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I gotta think over that.
Here, I'll tell you what. We'll just bring that up on a full screen here. The amount of cloud coverage and rainfall activity may limit that instability. Saw SPC is concerned with that. May hinder overall severe weather. Curious how short-range models will forecast this, handle instability weather. That's exactly what
Especially
we were
with the
saying.
cloud cover.
Yeah.
Because models are terrible at cloud cover because you're talking about cloud microphysics, and that's just something that models just pretty much just throw out the window.
They can't do.
Yeah, they really can't do it.
Tommy said, I'm late. What's going on? It's going to rain.
It's going to rain.
It's going to rain. And your Bella's going to be 2 miles that way. It rains tomorrow morning and then picks up throughout the day. And then a big system comes in Christmas Eve and a Christmas Day. And then it gets colder beyond that. So that
Yeah.
summed up our entire Facebook Live in 10 seconds. Um,
That's it.
and Nakana says, Jeremy Riley. I know, probably tagging them.
Yeah.
So, hey, if you're watching this in the replay, hello to you, Jeremy. All right, well, that sums it up. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, everyone. Only 46 minutes left and some change. A little under 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But anyways, take care, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll give you more details. And, hey, wonder what I'll be wearing tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
Stay tuned. Let's just say it's going to be movie-themed. Just say that. All right, that's a tease. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later.